I don't think so the VP debate was nowhere near as entertaining as the presidential debate last week.
I disagree with you slightly. The presidential debate was a train wreck. That's why we enjoyed it.
Yes.
Because it was just two old white dudes screaming at each other. And there's nothing funnier than seeing two senior citizens just like get into it. So that's why that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Last night's, I didn't say last night's debate was funny. I said it was entertaining.
That's what I said, entertaining.
Yes, you had Kamala Harris on one side. You had Mike Pence on the other side. You had them trying to pretend like they respect and like each other, even though they can't stand each other.
Oh yes, that part was funny, and the looks that she was giving him throughout the entire thing were priceless. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So she can't stand him. He can't really stand her, though. He can't help, but he has one face, Mike Pence.
Yeah.
He has one face that he makes. He can't make any other face. And
does he smile? Have you seen him smile ever?
Yeah, he smiles in like that creepy villain way.
Mm-hmm. Like, Satan, right?
And if you notice, he's never stand still. He sways very slowly. That's Mike Pence's thing. Kamala makes those dramatic faces. I know Shannon likes Kamala more than I do. I find Kamala to be, and I mean this with.
I feel like we've never talked about how I felt about Kamala.
But I could tell that you like her.
No, I mean, she has a problematic history too, but I mean, she's fine for now. I think that she's changed from a lot of the policies that she put in place and a lot of things that she did when she was a prosecutor. So I don't know.
But when I say you like Kamala, I'm talking about because you have a different political bent than I do, right? It's like, so you're a leftist, but you also believe a little bit in this whole identity politics stuff, don't you? A little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah. So the fact that she's a black woman on stage, you probably were proud.
I mean, I guess. I guess so. I mean, I guess so. She was holding her own. She was a black woman on stage that was holding her own in a sense. So that was good. That was good.
Yes. I'm not saying that you're in love with the woman. I'm just saying, you feel for her a little bit differently.
Of course.
Than I do. I think, and I mean this respectfully, I think she might be the fakest politician I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. Okay. And why do you feel that way?
Number one, Kamala Harris, like you said, you used the word that she's changed her position on things. I don't think she's changed at all.
Okay.
I think she's selling the dream, as all politicians do. And when she gets into office, she'll revert to her natural political inclination. I don't believe she's had this big transformation that she's been portraying. I don't believe.
Well, that's why I also said we have to see. I said it seems like she's changed her position, but you never know with these people. So
that's the first reason why I think she's the fakest politician we've ever seen before. Number two,
will you accept her as president though if Joe Biden kicks the bucket before his 4 years?
I mean, whether I accept her or not, she's going to be my president.
I know, but would you be okay with it, or would you be?
I mean, I don't want her to be president.
So you would be mad?
Not mad. I'm not invested in this the way most people are. Politics is something that is important, but I refuse to let these people take over my life the way they seem to take over a lot of people's lives. Right? Like people are so invested in this election. It's the most important election. I'm like, it's important. I'm not going to give these people all of that life. So if Joe Biden dies, which to be clear, she is hoping for. Don't kid yourself. Kamala Harris is hoping. She is praying that Joe Biden dies because I think she knows that she doesn't stand a good chance of winning in 2024. Right? Like, we can be clear. If Joe Biden wins in 2024, a Democrat is going to run against the incumbent. Right? I don't know if it's going to be AOC. How old is she? AOC.
She in her 30s? 30?
I don't know. She has to be 31 if she has any chance of running. But my theory on AOC is she's going to be the first female president. So no matter if they win the election, they're going to run against another Democrat. So I don't think Kamala Harris believes she's going to win in 2024. So her only shot at being president is for Joe Biden to die. Now, here's why this should worry Joe Biden. Kamala Harris is slick enough to try some shit. Now,
you think?
It won't be overt. Like, she's not going to, like do anything crazy like pour rice into his cereal. But Joe Biden's old and fragile. Like you could give that dude the common cold, and I mean,
oh my God, Jabia.
you know what I'm saying? I can see. Kamala. What did the white settlers do to the Indians? Where they just gave them like blankets for smallpox? I can see Kamala, coming down with a common cold, cough to tissue. Here you go, Mr. President. Wipe that, he some soup. Yeah, wipe his face. She's rooting for him to die so she can become the president. Hey, no shade. Here's the thing, though. Kamala Harris, I don't think her politics have changed. When she smiles, it is the most disingenuous smile I've seen from a politician ever. And she has that creepy ass Joker laugh that she does as well that I don't like. That said, that debate last night was entertaining because you had two people who never answered a single question that was asked.
Yep. There was a lot of deflecting going on. There was definitely that. You cannot deny that the deflection from both sides was crazy.
Pence, I think, was better at deflecting or not answering the question because he's an actual politician. And, my biggest takeaway from last night was, holy, crap, I didn't think Pence was this good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, me and you talked last time, we never heard Pence really talk. So, like, seeing him up there, I was impressed. I was like, wow, I see why Trump chose him as his VP.
I just think that coming off of the last debate where literally it was the two debates were polar opposites, I just feel like listening to somebody speak normally was we're taking that as good when I don't really think it was good per se. I just think it was normal compared to what we saw last week.
Did you what were your thoughts on the moderator?
The moderator, I don't know. She was like, I don't really have any thoughts on the moderator. The moderator is someone that reads the questions, but she didn't have as hard of a time
as Chris Wallace.
Yes, as Chris Wallace. Definitely. She had it a lot easier. So, I mean, she was fine. I wasn't really paying too much attention to her when her monotone questions, but she was fine. What did you think?
I didn't care for it too much. Like, moderators to me are largely overrated. Like, to be completely honest, I mean, Pence and Kamala could have had that conversation amongst themselves.
That's what I'm saying,
There at all, to be honest, because Pence went over his time all the time. So she had one moment where she put her foot down, but then, the next time he just did the same thing again.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're not going to actually control the debate, then what function do you really serve other than answering the question? And you can literally have a robot do that, like just automate the questions for the candidates. So moderators to me are always overrated. What did you think about the questions, though? Did you like the questions? Because I didn't like the way the questions were framed. Because number one, they were drawn out and long, and number two, they weren't about like. So she wasn't like Kamala Harris. What is Joe Biden? What is Joe Biden's plan for blank? Or Joe Biden, he said this one thing, but then the other day he said this. What is the truth? Her questions were like drawn out. Do you think Breonna Taylor got justice? Like what? What's going on here?
But I was kind of glad that she asked that question because when people, I actually don't even remember what Kamala said to that question, but I remember what Pence said to the question.
She said Kamala basically said that she doesn't think justice was done. She talked to Breonna Taylor's mom, and then look, the fact that me and you don't remember what she said is part of the problem.
It's kind of, I don't really know if it's me, but I don't remember a lot. Like a lot of that debate is lost on me. I watched the whole thing, but I just feel like none of it was particularly memorable.
Because they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
This is like when you have sex with somebody and I'm just saying, it's like when you sleep with somebody, like, and year passes and then they bring up, hey, that time we had together was magical. You're like, wow, we slept together? Like, it was so, like, it left no impact on you. It wasn't a joy. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. But it didn't mean nothing.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. A lot of, like I said, the whole thing really was just dodging questions and finding creative ways to.
Oh, I think my internet's breaking up a little bit, Shannon.
Oh, now you're back. Wait, hello?
Is that me or you?
It's you. You're freezing.
It was my internet.
I think it might be your internet. I don't think it's mine.
I can hear you now. Repeat what you said.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
You said that
what
we was talking about why we didn't remember anything, and I said that it's like having sex with somebody who didn't leave an impact on you. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good.
Oh yeah, and
it was.
I said that. Shoot, I don't remember what I said. I said that. Oh my God, now I don't remember. It's gone. You lost me.
Either way, my bad.
It's gone now.
Either way, we didn't learn anything from last night because they didn't say anything. Both of these candidates were very good at not answering the question, and they came in with things that they want to do. So when they're asking, who won, who lost, my contention is, well, it's not who won, who lost. You should judge this on what were the goal for each candidate, and did they reach their goal? I think both of them did what they came to do. For Kamala Harris, the Biden campaign has like a 9-10 point lead. So she came in playing defense, meaning her only job was to not create some viral moment that could damage the Biden campaign. She did her job. Mike Pence, his only job was to show that the Trump presidency has a competent man who is working with the president. So you might not like the president, but I'm a standing Republican. So feel confident in the Trump presidency because you got me on your side. He accomplished his goal, I think. So both of them accomplished what they set out to do. And so in that respect, I think it was a quote unquote success for both of them.
Yeah. And I was watching, basically, I don't think that this debate really changed any minds or moved any numbers around. Like, I think that it's fairly like still the same. I don't think it changed anything in terms of his lead or Trump's trailing. Like, I don't think that anyone's going to gain points off of that debate.
If you're still an undecided voter, if you're still an undecided voter in 2020, literally like 2 or 3 weeks before November 3rd, then you might as well just either not vote or vote for somebody third party, because clearly you think that neither one of these people are good enough for you, which is fine. I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen. I made my decision voting for Joe Jorgensen because I don't like neither one of these old white dudes. So to me, like, it's impossible to be an undecided voter right now, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think that undecided voters, a lot of them are gonna probably just not vote. That's what I think is gonna happen, because we're, like you said, we're so close. Like, we're so close, and we're about to not even have another debate. So what are you gonna do then? Which I guess we'll get into.
Yeah. Before we move into not having another debate.
Are you frozen? Oh, okay.
No, I'm fine. Can we speak about?
Okay, you're good. No, you're right.
Can we speak about? Did you see the conversation around Mike Pence and Kamala Harris and how he was mansplaining, and that Kamala Harris was every woman of color dealing with a man? I find that narrative to be so annoying because women have fought to be in the same spaces as men, correct?
Yes.
We just saw 2 weeks ago 2 men cut each other off, scream at each other, yell at each other. So you can't say that Mike Pence cutting off Kamala Harris or talking over her, he was doing it because she was a woman, when we just saw 2 men do the exact same thing to each other.
I didn't agree with that. I mean, I've been seeing that all day on social media and memes and stuff. I don't really think that that's what was going on here. I just think that they were having a normal debate, and I think that it would have happened if anyone was up there. So that honestly doesn't matter. So,
but then why is that coming up? Because I don't think me and you are that much smarter than people on CNN. So it will make those individuals like disingenuous. So why are they pushing this narrative out there that Mike Pence was being sexist? If anything, it was the opposite of sexism. He treated her the exact same way he would have treated some other dude.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where that narrative is coming from, and I just think that narrative. I just think that people love to play that narrative, not saying, and I don't really think that it applies here. I mean, she interrupted him, he interrupted her, there was a fair amount of back and forth going on each side. I don't really think that narrative applies to the situation.
You know what it is, Shannon? I blame your people. And when I say your people, I mean women. I blame women for...
Oh my God. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, explain.
I blame women for that narrative. And here's why. Women like to play this thing where they want equality, but when it is politically or economically advantageous for them, they like to play the gender card, right? Here's why. Because Kamala Harris knows good and hell well that Mike Pence wasn't being sexist. She knows that. But politically, it plays well with her base politically to play this feminist victim, right? Now, this has consequences in the real world, which is why I'm so passionate about this, because I find a lot of this stuff where, if a man talks to a woman, he has to worry about being called sexist. If a white person is talking to a black person, he has to worry about being called a racist. If I talk to a trans person, I got to worry about being cisgendered, even though trans people make up literally like less than 5% of the population. Like, this stuff gets in the way of actual great debate and actual great conversation, because it leaves the rest of us walking around on eggshells. And I didn't appreciate Van Jones, of all people, on CNN last night, just immediately went to mansplaining, and then the rest of them did it. And I'm like, could we not just critique the debate like on the substance? Like, why inject it with this stuff that wasn't relevant? And it got under my nerve. It just made me upset.
I know it did, Jabia. I know it did. But no, I understand. It's a debate, and this is what's supposed to happen at debates. I don't really know about any debate that's ever been had ever where people stop talking at their 2-minute mark and respectfully hand it over to the other person. That just doesn't happen. It doesn't.
It never happens. Even before Trump, back when you had Obama and Romney, or when you had Obama and McCain, or like, those are the last two I watched, like, start to finish. They would cut each other off, walking in front of each, because that's back when they used to like walk around in front of each other. Trump following Hillary Clinton like a predator. That entire debate, I remember that. Like, so to me, I'm like this is just some low. It got me upset, because it feels like we're not going to be able to escape this stuff. And as these things get more diverse, you're going to have a woman on one side and a man on the other side, or a black person and a white person, an Asian or somebody else. And if we can't have these objective analysis without people purposely injecting this stuff in it to kind of derail the conversation. Because if me and you are talking, Shannon, and somebody's watching this and it's like, oh my God, he won't let that poor black woman talk. The next time we talk, I'm going to be self-conscious and not speak my mind, and it messes up the debate.
Yes. He is letting me talk, everyone, just to let you know. It's not happening. So.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. I don't really see a solution to that, as you're saying. As you said, in this time, this is a really sensitive era of time that we're in, and I don't think it's getting less sensitive. I think it's getting more sensitive. So I just feel like that's going to be something we need to learn to navigate around. Unfortunately, I don't really see it ending at all.
Let's just ban Jones from TV. Ban Van Jones. All right.